When it comes to the world of international jewel thieves, we all think of Ocean's 11, but some people like to use the KISS method, or keep it simple stupid, right? The Louvre was just broken into, and what we all thought would be an Ocean's 11 style heist ended up just being some idiots with an angle grinder and a lift and a Vespa. Let's talk about it. I am shocked, and the more you look into this, the more stupid that it gets. The Louvre has been robbed of the crown jewels of France. They took about 9 pieces, like some brooches, some crowns, all that kind of stuff, and they basically brute forced their way in and took as much as they could within a 3-minute window, which is insane. And then after they took everything that they could get their hands on, right, they escaped on scooters. So they did an entire Ocean's 11 style break-in with literally an angle grinder, a scissor lift, and a blowtorch, according to CNN, who we'll get into that in just a second here. Now, let's just go through the details. What they did is they drove up in a truck with a lift on it, right? Then used a angle grinder to smash through a window and then smash through the glass and take the crown jewel pieces, at which point they burst out the building, started running away, and escaped on high-speed scooters. This is so insane. The Louvre basically just got robbed by the Vespa gang from The Mandalorian. So I feel like this team is either extremely professional and obeys the rule of KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? But also, they could just be morons who thought, oh, I'll just go in and grab the jewels and take it. So let's hope that they were professional, because if they're morons, then they probably would end up breaking down the jewels and taking it for the cash value of gold and the diamonds themselves, which, you know, would be the worst case scenario if we're being real. At least if they sold it to a bidder, somebody who had contracted the work out, then the pieces would be intact and the potential for people to see them in the future is still there. If you're like me and you thought that the Louvre, one of the most important museums on the face of the earth, would have high-tech security, or at least double-paned glass, or at least any glass that could handle getting hit by an angle grinder, I thought it would have been, you know, laser beams and like a secret agent middle of the night art heist. No, it turns out you can just go in there, elbow grease it open, and take anything that you want. Absolutely insane. Now, I most likely would think that they would not destroy the art pieces, and here's why. Because if you're going through the trouble of getting into one of the most famous museums on the planet in order to steal, you know, priceless works of art, of jewelry, right? The likelihood is that you're going to want to keep them and not destroy them. Granted, there was one piece that had like 1,000 diamonds in it. The cash value of the precious metals and gems alone would be pretty high. However, it really wouldn't make sense to do that, because if your goal was just cash value of gold and diamonds, why not just go knock down a couple of jewelry stores, right? That would be much lower risk, much lower profile, and you wouldn't have an international manhunt on your hands here, right? It's just the risk is too high for the reward. Now, one thing I could see doing is maybe it's a cabal of secret thieves who, you know, want to take selfies with the things and generally don't care about having it. They just want to prove to somebody that they are the thieves that are, you know, the most famous gang in the world, and can put that on their resume. Now, I don't know how the criminal underground works, but I imagine maybe they still have a resume or a reputational type of gang. Now, they escaped on high-speed scooters. And I don't know if you guys have ever ridden a high-speed scooter, but they are way more dangerous than motorcycles. So this is hilarious that they chose to use a high-speed scooter rather than like a Vespa or things that they use in France. That's just incredible. I do love riding a high-speed scooter, and if I was the planner and just was the one who had planned this heist, I definitely would have done it just for the cool factor alone. Been like, yeah, no, we're gonna go in there, use an angle grinder as a hammer, and then escape on a scooter so that way police can't catch us. Oh my God, this is hysterical. They might have done this for the meme. They're just laughing at the, government of France. Who knows what's going on here, but I do think this is absolutely hilarious. Now, when I was doing some research for this video, I saw that CNN had interviewed with Larry Lawton. Now, I don't know if you guys know who Larry Lawton is, but he is a famous jewel thief who went to prison for a long time and is now like written books about being in that life and how he had done it in the past. However, Larry Lawton, if you've ever seen him be interviewed before, is notoriously difficult to talk to. So the first time I heard of Larry Lawton was on a PKA interview, which if you guys watch the PKA channel, definitely super cool. Big shouts out to the PKA boys. Yeah, I think they had a very difficult time spending 4 hours trying to get Larry Lawton to talk about how to rob a jewel store, how to pick a jewelry store to rob. Larry Lawton, I don't understand why CNN would talk to him, but I think the bar is extremely low for quote unquote experts to be interviewing about this. So what is my recommendation for the Louvre? Well, I would tell you one thing, and it's extremely simple. Thicker glass. Honestly, thicker glass would have solved the whole thing. And the whole social engineering part of the heist, I mean, you can't fix stupid. And, generally people are stupider than you're ever going to give them credit for. It is astonishing how stupid people can really be. So, if you ever want to take a look into social engineering, just go to look at the DEF CON booths that they do at the trade show for security. Go look at Pirate Software when he talks about social engineering. Go on YouTube, look up social engineering videos. You would be shocked what you can accomplish with a badge and some confidence. Even as a younger man, when I was skateboarding, I had ended up in VIP areas that I definitely should not have been in, just off of confidence alone. No badges, no vests, anything. You can social engineer your way into some nonsense. And that's what these guys did. So, are you going to fix the human condition of stupidity? Probably not. But one way you could do is, make it so that way their angle grinder isn't going to work. You could have put like the tank glass that they use on Humvees in the GWAT or any of that stuff, military grade glass up, and they would have never gotten through that with an angle grinder in 100 years. Which, by the way, they're saying they smash through glass with an angle grinder. Why not just use a hammer? They made a tool for the thing you're doing. It's called a hammer, not an angle grinder. This is so ridiculous. I honestly am at a loss for words about the nature of this robbery, right? It is absolutely insane. Also, CNN had been reporting that they had a blowtorch, and I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what anybody would use a blowtorch for. Now, an oxyacetylene torch, that makes a lot of sense. A blowtorch, probably not. I get it. Maybe they're French, so they wanted to make creme brulee, but I have no idea why anybody would use a blowtorch. So either way, this crew is probably somewhere on the bell curve of either really, really stupid or really, really smart. I'm leaning towards the stupid side, which, that's just me personally. If they were smart, then they just believed in the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. You gotta love it. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. The next video will be dropping soon. We're almost done with the Bowie knife build that we will be trading for that 7-string guitar. That's going to be awesome, and then we're going to play that a little bit. I may do some security videos as well, just talking about my thoughts and stuff about the stupidity of it. But definitely with this channel, I want to just kind of make what I want. If I want to make a video about playing guitar, followed up by a video about blacksmithing, followed up with me just being a general talking head on YouTube like everybody else. You know, really just going for that. Not really trying to angle myself into any particular niche. Just like talking about cool stuff sometimes. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.